Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Blades in the Dark, the Blackwater Exchange. So, I believe you are going to go see a demon about a vampire.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
That is literally, not a metaphor, literally is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love how they say you're never railroaded in RPGs, but somehow we've found our way to the dark, arcane side of things very easily in this section.
I have not railroaded into anything.
That's true.
I've
It's just funny
what
though.
do you wanna
That's your favourite sort of thing.
It is.
And it's like
I feel like I've railroaded us in that direction.
I do love the arcane and the dark and all that sort of stuff. I think it's interesting.
And
when people
vampires.
Yeah, and all that
And
sort of
demons.
the gothic horror stuff. I love it. I just love that sort of stuff. And and genuinely, I wish you could see the notes. The whole thing, well, it was not planned, it wasn't scripted, and that's why I was laughing, going, I'm not fucking with you, but that is the one person she would want to meet out of all of them.
okay.
Not knowing he was a demon, there's a reason why she wants to meet him. But then I guess a demon will put himself in a position to be wanted, so it kind of makes sense that he would be the one. He's
Cool.
also the most public, and you have relations with him, and she knows that. So, what score do you want to do? I think it's going to be a social.
It is a social. We're
Yeah,
trying to
it's social.
convince Harvale and Lord Scurlock to give us some information.
Cool. So you're gonna put in contact with Harvale. You're gonna try and convince him to offer you protection to Lord Scurlock, so that you can go meet Lord Scurlock to get a ritual.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's social. Are you bringing Juliet with you, or are you gonna arrange the meeting separately?
We will.
I think we do.
You want to bring her? Okay. Forward. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So she'll come with you to the meeting to arrange it, or not arranging it. You can come with you to him to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's that.
We'll vouch for her as a +1 for the Centralia Club.
Lafayette
guess.
and Ibrahim.
Guest pass.
Cool. Okay. What load are you taking? You've got anti-vampire tools.
Yeah, I've got that.
Do you want to take that on this score?
God.
Could it be seen
I'll
as
put
an
it in my
insult?
I'm putting it in my secret.
Okay, you're
Hawk is
bringing
rigging. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what's going in there.
Okay, Scurlock's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna go
It's for
light.
Merrick!
I'm gonna go light though.
You're going light, okay.
Yeah.
You can also swap out your gear between the Centrulico if you need to.
Yeah. I think light as well.
Yeah. Okay, so for the Centrulico, you're going light.
Yeah.
Cool. So, let's just dive into it. The engagement roll, you've got your plan, you've done your downtime. Anything else you wish to do before the engagement roll?
No.
You
I
happy?
don't,
You
think so,
happy?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool, so one dice for sheer luck. One dice because it's been bold is, hey, we're friends, I think. Please let us be friends and make us friends with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Harvey wants it to happen, so you get 3 dice.
Havel wants this to happen.
Of course he does.
Off the head, so advantages, disadvantages balance out, unless there's anything you wish to add that I haven't thought of,
I think we're looking
3
to get
dice.
3 dice.
It's a 3 dice problem.
3 dice.
Do you want to roll dice?
To see how well he receives you.
I'll do 1, you need 2.
So the intro to see how well Harvey receives you and your friend.
Okay. Oh yeah. Forgot about that bit.
Engagement.
6.
6. You start in a control position.
Bam.
So, as you make your way, what
Who
time
loves us, this Harvell guy?
do you go to the Centralia Club?
I don't think demons sleep, do they?
Doubt it.
We'll go.
Harvey comes out in a sleep mask.
Because we were. We'll go like just like in the afternoon,
Yeah.
like 5 o'clock, something like that.
Do mid-afternoon and then aim to do like Scurlock
That night?
That night, yeah. If it
Cool.
was allows.
Yes.
Oh, actually, he's a vampire, so he really only comes out at night. Although there's no sun.
There's no
so,
real
you know.
sun, yeah.
Sounds like vampires have got a great time in Doskvol.
Yeah.
No sun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So, you head there just before the blind hour. The late afternoon, early evening, depending on who you ask.
Yes.
Cool. So you are welcomed in by the doorman, who recognises you now, especially you, Ibrahim. Oh, the author, good to see you again, Mr. Ibrahim. Jim. Doesn't quite recall your name by. He didn't call his face, but not your name yet. Let you in. You are expected, it seems. Have you written ahead to Harvell, or are you just going to turn up?
I think we just turn up because we assume that he knows everything we're doing anyway.
Yeah, we'll just turn up and see if he's there. If not, we'll come back some other time.
Okay, you do have to come back at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
He's not there at first.
Right.
Do you stay or
We'll just stay and enjoy ourselves.
So you ask the bar for him. He's not available, and eventually he makes his way out. A couple of hours later.
Okay.
Sees you in the main area. He nods. Goes to the bar, but works his way between the bar staff. Pours himself a drink on the top shelf. And gestures for you to follow into a side room. And openly in front of the main area and in front of the other aficionados, the men of wealth, power and privilege, and women. But mostly it's a male club, being the type of era it is. He discusses, so you've seen the recent papers, and he discusses, not loudly, but just openly, day-to-day politics, small talk.
Yes.
Small talk as you would expect in a club of the stature.
Yeah.
Before going into one of the side rooms, opening the door for you, the three of you. Have you just brought Juliet, or have you brought anyone else?
Just Juliet.
Just Juliet. As Ramina, I'm presuming, waiting outside.
Yeah.
Cool. Close the door behind you. The roaring, crackling fire of the real fire, as is one of the hallmarks of the Central League Club, with 4 very comfy, very large-backed red plush chairs and a circle table in the middle. Low. There are several papers scattered about, several ashtrays, all recent, very up to date. One of each major paper publications in Doskvol. And you notice in each room as well, there's also the smaller ones of all. So even some of the more extreme, you in fact see one of your pamphlets.
Oh right, yeah.
From what do you call it, like the Doskvol truth speaker? Or something? It seems that the people who come in these rooms, keep up to date with the politics of all sorts. And Harvey sits down, drinks his drink, crosses his legs, his traditional black and gold elaborate jacket. You notice now he's actually got a bit of facial hair. He seems to be growing a beard. Usually he's clean shaven, but he seems to be growing a little bit of stubble.
Okay.
New look for him. So, my friends, my new friend, that's Juliet. What may I do for you? Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry my absence was so long.
Oh, we enjoyed the facilities here at the club. Very nice places,
Yes.
Well, I'll cut straight to the chase. We want a audience with Lord Scurlock. I believe you're quite good acquaintances with him. We think your name, along with the request, would go some way to help our case.
Lord Scurlock. You are aware of his activities, I presume?
I think we know what he is. A vampire.
We can extrapolate the rest.
Yes. You've seen him before
At the party, yes.
Mr. von Drachenberg's elaborate display.
Briefly.
Yes. There are those who don't believe he is what he is, simply that he is the ancient relic of a forgotten family. But he is what he is. And you still wish to meet with him. I was curious.
Well, there's certain conditions to this audience. I mean, our safety would have to be vouched for. I don't want to walk in there and find him sucking on my neck 10 minutes into the...
That's not how it works. It's so coarse. But,
well,
the intent is well taken.
Enlighten me. How does it work?
Well, he feeds on your life essence. Similar to how a ghost possesses one.
Jesus Christ.
We'd rather he didn't do that either.
Yes, well. He's not I'm sure you've read the stories of these creatures driven by this feral hunger they have. I assure you, Scurlock is nothing of the sort. He is simply imagine him as you would any other man of position and power, whose diet is rather unique. He simply eats what he eats. He consumes what he consumes. Try to think of yourselves as any sustenance to him. Just treat him as you would any other person in such a position. I'm sure you will be fine. Of course, I wouldn't go empty-handed, but my word will carry some weight, certainly.
Well, I'll attempt to treat him like a normal person.
Well, my friends, You've been very rude. Who is the third you bring to see me?
This is our business partner, Juliet.
And he's not looking at her now, he's looking at you two as if to say, like, why is she here? At the moment, he's completely blanking her.
She was most interested in seeing you.
Indeed. And that he does look at her. Why?
She would not tell us. She's very secretive.
I admire that.
Maybe she can enlighten us now, unless she wants a private attendance with you.
At which point she kind of sits back and just nods at your words. As if to say, yes, I want it private.
Are you happy with this Harvale? We can get rid of her if you want.
She looks almost like, oh, thanks. Like that, like, wow, okay. That happened. He's like, yeah, it'll be fine, I'm sure. You vouch for her, she works with you.
Okay.
Right, to brass tacks then. Oh, well, first of all, some other discussions. Are you enjoying your newfound wealth? Seem to be pleasing more people. Your
Yes.
business endeavours.
Yes. Is it a gift, or are there certain strings attached to this Harvale?
I am simply pleased with your efforts and would like to see them continue further. Consider an entrepreneurial pool investment.
Okay.
I like to see those fighting to rise up above their stations.
Well, we thank you. It's gone a great way to help us grow our business.
Long
We
may
appreciate
continue.
it.
Long may it continue.
Quite.
So, Scurlock, I can indeed offer you some protection should you wish to see him. What knowledge do you seek from him? What is the reason for your desire to meet?
We understand he has a great knowledge of arcane rituals.
He does.
We very much need to learn one for the next stage of our business plan, I suppose.
You'll need to make some kind of roll here, because he's got terms to you and says. It's very interesting you would think to ask him and not me. But you are controlled. So, who would like to do what? As Harvale begins to turn the screws.
I think Merrick's a wordsmith here.
I would like to. I think it would be a consort to just like alleviate his fears, and just say like.
The demons and securities.
And just say, well, it is in our best interest to have as many business contacts as possible, much as we appreciate the help.
Yeah, certainly. Control standard.
Okay, so consort, and it is a 6.
6, do without consequence. And Harvale flashes his winning smile back at you and goes, of course, I understand. And it is well understood, for I cannot help you in this endeavour. At least, not yet.
You know about our endeavour then?
Well, I cannot help you with anything too. Let's just say that until my shackles are broken, the art of summoning is beyond me.
And is the knowledge lost to you?
No, I certainly know how to do it, I just cannot use it.
Right.
There are chains upon the world.
Well, I don't even pretend to understand what you're talking about, but I will have to believe you on that one, Harvale.
And what reason have I given you not to believe me, ever?
None.
My friend, exactly.
None. You've been very truthful and very professional with our relationship so far.
Indeed. How goes your search for the remaining 3 on a side note? It's just a silence of him just drinking from his glass.
Well, we haven't discussed terms for the other 3 yet, have we?
This is fair. Well, one thing at a time, I suppose.
How has your have the current 2 that have been taken care of had any effects on your abilities?
Better if it was 5. Much better.
Quite.
Sacred number.
Can I ask him about Horth
Certainly.
and see if he's what his current actions and like motivations have been recently?
You are, yes,
Because I mean, there was a big explosion in his house, basically.
Part of it I might know about is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. What action are you taking here to get
Well,
to talk?
I guess it's like a gather information role. I'd say like using him. I mean,
Yeah, so
due to our high society contacts, we get like 1 more dice, so
makes
it'd
sense.
just be like I don't think. Why would he not want to
Yes,
tell us about it? So consort, I suppose, like to get
Yeah, I think
the
makes
most information out of him, like
Eliot
from
plus 1 dice.
asking the right questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and again, you're Thaddeus being nailed now to ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get your plus 1 die. Yeah, cool. So to gather
2
information.
dice for the consort, so 3 and a 1.
3 and a 1. I think this is inconsistent information. Yes, if I recall.
I'm not asking the right questions.
Limited. You get incomplete or partial. More information gathering will be needed.
Yeah.
Font of your knowledge, am I, Thaddeus?
Don't let me think. Don't think that I'm just trying to pick your brain. You know.
Well, I'll answer your question with a question first. If you were in Hall of Shoes, what would you do?
I'd be conducting a plan at which to bring forth my own demise.
And you, Merrick?
Let the whole thing drop.
Well, I will say this. I imagine one of you is correct. I will leave you to decipher which.
Yes, it's a case of how he's planning on doing that.
Has something unusual occurred, perhaps? Recent weeks? Something unexpected? That could be the result of a figure working behind the scenes.
Well, the unification of the Scobs, but that wasn't too unexpected. Perhaps.
If it was me, I would seek to understand where his power lies.
Yes.
How he could use it.
Yeah.
Which high society, wealth, contacts and privilege. How he would bring such things to bear if indeed he wished to do so.
Maybe Scurlock. I don't know.
Maybe Scurlock? After the husks? In some way?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. So how do we leave it with him? Is he going to get in touch with us if we can?
So, here comes
The terms.
the terms. I will grant you access to Scurlock. I will arrange a meeting. The rest is beyond me. For I know him well.
Do you think he'll be open to divulging that sort of information?
I think if you can convince him.
What do you think would be his price?
That is for him to know. If I could tell you, I would. Such. He is mercurial. And unlike myself, his desires are fleeting with the passage of time. That's where he and I differ greatly. I want the same thing as I did yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and that is something you will aid me with in return. 2 have fallen, 3 remain. The deal remains the same. You are proving excellent at it so far. I see no reason to change it.
You want one more of these people killed then?
No, I want all 3. But I will set off 1 this time. Or simply have them remove the shackles and nothing to be killed.
Oh, if there's an option. Out of interest, if your wants never change, then what happens once you get it?
Well, I'm sure you'll understand when you achieve something. Those of us with ambition, like yourself, there's always a new goal, a new achievement, a new desire.
Of course.
Perhaps I just wish to see the entrepreneurial spirit of Doskvol survive and flourish, and can do so better when I am not bound.
Can Merrick see whether he actually wants that?
Oh yeah, because
Does he actually want that? Like, is he being honest and earnest?
He
when
does
says,
not
cares
give a
about
fuck.
I mean, I figured it went without saying that he was like completely
He does not
bullshit.
give a fuck about your job roles
No.
or like what you do. He wants you to absolutely wants to be free of whatever is holding him, and beyond that, he hasn't told you.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt like that kind of went without saying, but yeah, like
Yeah, just to clarify, to put it bluntly,
yeah,
he wants free. He's being more open with what's happened, but he's guessing you reasonably, assured you've already realised what happened to him is that they've somehow summoned him. He's somehow been bound, and whatever. He's still obviously got power, but he's not his full power. And whatever the case is, he wants free of it. And you guys seem like a good way to do it.
Okay.
He's working so far, and he is earnest in his desire. He is telling the truth about helping you.
Yes.
I mean, he's already done that, but he seems to be telling the truth that as long as you're helping him, he's willing to help you. But his thing of, when I'm free, I want to see you guys flourish, no, that's absolute bollocks.
So, who are the 3 then? 2 of them we think we know.
You look at Juliet and you're talking openly about it, so why not continue? Well, who do you know?
Well, Strangford is one, and the Whisper, the cultist, is the other one.
Arena the Blessed, I believe they call her.
I can not confirm or deny.
And the third we have little information on, not even a name.
Do you have a description nonetheless?
Yes. Well, maybe Juliet can help us out on this one.
Very possible.
I'll describe the description. I can't remember what the description was actually. Maybe put to work. Well, what's the chances of us trying to convince Harvell that's why we brought her along to help us find these 3?
I think I know who it is. I just need to be 100% sure before telling you, because I think she does know who the 5th is. I think she'll have experience with them.
Oh dear, that's good. Oh, I don't want to release this demon. We need.
Okay, come. So there's Forsyth. The 5. Here we go. Yeah, she knows him. So you describe him. And it is Preceptor Dunville.
Preceptor Dunville?
Yeah. Oh, she knows him quite well. He is the arcane researcher of the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh, where she is a priestess. He is the younger twin brother to Lady Dunville of the City Council.
Yeah, I thought Dunville rang a bell.
Who works. Lady Dunville is one of the, or Dunville is one of the 5 major houses.
Yeah.
They are in the city council. Lady Dunville is the youngest member of the council, in her late 30s. She sits opposite Strangford the younger. The elder, so the Strangford, as a reminder, are unusual in that the elder one is the Leviathan captain. It's usually the elder one goes into the council. He was quite defiant about it. His younger brother took the reins, and they're younger by a good 15 years. Like there's a good about 10 years between them. Yeah. The Dunvilles and the Strangfords get on because out of the city council you got 5 members, right? There's I think 4 men, 1 woman, one woman. Just to give you an idea of what this is, because you're about to get some info here from them. Institution. So, Morland Strangford is the Leviathan captain. And then you've got Adric Boymore, Roth Cleland, Lady Dunville, Pendrin, Rowan. Oh, sorry, there's 6, 7. Oh, no. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're in the wrong thing. There are 6 members of the council. 6 members of houses, 4 men, 2 women. Strangford and Dunville get on because they are the 2 youngest. She is in her late 30s, so is he. She's around 35, he's around 37. The other ones are well into their late 40s, early 50s.
Right.
Because the elder Strangford backed out of it, which is the same age. And then she is the newest member of the council, basically, Dunville. You roughly know that Bowmore, Cleland and Rowan have allied against Strangford and are trying to get Strangford kicked out. This is just public knowledge, everyone knows this. Dunville and Pendrin have not taken sides, but Strangford and Dunville are probably the 2 closest. So the idea is, Preceptor Dunville is the younger twin brother of Lady Dunville Council.
Yeah.
And apparently he's worked with the elder Strangford in this thing.
Okay. And when I describe her, does Juliet tell us who she is then?
Yeah, who he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows him well.
Okay.
He is in his mid-30s. Same as age, sir. He's got long dark hair coming down to curly dark hair down to his shoulders, often wears top hat and small glasses.
And does she show any regret or any emotion from...
No, he's extremely distant cold. He's enigmatic is the word she would use to describe him.
And it wouldn't affect her spider's web, I suppose.
She will turn to you and tell not in these words, but what you'd get is, nothing will stop me getting in my way of what I want, and if this is the price to be paid, so be it.
Okay.
I have no particular allegiance to him.
Okay.
I have neither do I wish any harm, but I do have not any ally to him, tied to him either.
Okay.
He is certainly odd, she will tell you. He is the lesser known of the 2 Dunville twins, because they are the eldest. He is quiet, he is removed from society and prefers his studies to social engagements, but is rumoured to be extremely close to his sister. They would do anything for each other. The 2 Dunville twins are extremely close, as twins often are.
Lady Dunville, she was at the party as well.
She was.
And we got that man drunk and told him to... Well,
She's
that
a
man was drunk.
fixer.
Yeah, she's a fixer, yeah, that's right.
Different Dunville.
Oh, is it really?
Different Dunville.
Oh, right. Okay.
But she was also at the party.
Who was she the person we told that drunk man to go and talk to?
One of Dunville's was, I think, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
It would be one of the scions of the Dunville name. So it's still a lady, but not the Lady Dunville.
Yeah.
I'll ask Juliet whether other than his money, is he dangerous in any capacity?
Preceptor Dunville.
Preceptor, yeah.
He has a great study of arcane knowledge.
Okay, so just the arcane.
She said, I don't know much about him.
Go and ask him about it.
Even for she would say, even for her experience, he is withdrawn. He is extremely withdrawn. He studies a lot with Elder Rowan. They are extremely close. Elder Rowan is the leader of the church. They are very close. Okay. He's considered unorthodox in his beliefs and his practices.
Well, at least we've got a lot of information through her of how to get at him.
Yeah. What's made in there?
Okay. Yeah, do you want to agree to killing another one for an audience with Scurlock?
I don't really want to, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll agree to that term.
Excellent. think we should have something written down, don't you? Something to formalise our agreements.
I mean,
We've not needed one so far. I think that we are on equal minds.
No, but now that we are formalising some relations, I think it would make more sense to be so inclined to lawful.
I'm going to fight this one. I think you should try and convince him that we do not need that at all.
Yeah, I want to pursue the same tactic, but I'll do a roll, sway roll to try and
risky standards.
get out of it.
It's not desperate. It's not controlled. It's risky. He kind of wants it. You don't.
Risky standards. That is
done.
Well, I have one just here.
Oh, how convenient.
Why don't you read it and see what you think before making any hasty judgments?
I'll take it from him and read it.
It's only several lines of text. That is it. Just I hereby agree to do as so wished by, and then his name, for one action. It's not in no way does it say murder or kill, but it's all implied. And you look at it, you could argue it in multiple ways. It's definitely open to interpretation. This is the price for the audience. I assure you, it's well worth it, and I would not wish to see you come to any harm. Think of it.
Glance at Thadeus.
The knowledge you would gain to destroy the grinders. Within their walled fortress they feel safe, and yet you would have the knowledge to set their leader upon themselves, to summon the spirits of the underworld.
I'm going to try and console them.
Okay.
Try a different tack to try and change his mind.
Certainly. What are you trying?
I'm going to say to him something along the lines of like, there are no set deals amongst scoundrels. That is the life we lead. That is the business we divulge in.
To convince him, I'd say risky. What action are you taking here?
I'd like to do a desperate roll for better effect.
Oh, you want to say instead of risky standard, desperate great.
Either a sway or a consort. I think I do.
I think it's gonna be sway now because you tried to consort with him. Now you are arguing them.
Okay.
You're not viciously, but you're trying to change two opposing forces. One trying to. Yeah, if you want to do desperate for great, you certainly can do.
I'm gonna push myself for 2.
Pushing yourself for 2. Okay.
2 dice.
Desperate great. As she tries to convince Harvale no contract is needed, no formal contract.
5 and a 2.
5 and a 2, you deal with the consequence. First thing he does then, he looks at you and pulls the contract back and basically scrunch it into his hand. And you just see where his hand is. Suddenly smoke just starts appearing through the fingers.
God.
And when he lifts it, the contract is just ash. It's been burnt up between his hands. Wipes his hands together. Ash falling from them. Or just ash on the table now. Very well.
We'll leave you to talk to our mutual friends. Quite beneficial she came in the end, eh?
Certainly.
Quite serendipitous that she works so closely with this.
You've been reading the thesaurus.
Well, I picked a few things up from my mate Merrick here, but
So, no contract needed. Simply the goodwill amongst friends.
Well, you know where to find us anyway.
Yes, I do.
I'm glad that we have earned your trust.
Oh God. Barbed comment from Merrick. We'll leave.
Get up and leave.
Excellent.
We'll wait for Juliet because I want to see what they were talking, or if she'll divulge what we're talking about.
So as you guys go to leave, he turns to start talking to her.
Okay.
And they'll wait to you to leave.
Yeah. We'll wait around in the club for it to come out.
Okay,
if she does.
Yeah. She'll appear after about 30 minutes.
Okay.
She'll follow. She seems surprised to see her.
I'll say positive talks.
Preliminary, yes. He is. His aura is menacing.
I'm sure you're not going to divulge any details of the conversation you had in there.
Nothing for you to be aware of. I assure you, if it affected you in any way, I would tell you. If it doesn't. Knowledge is shared as...
Is that a lie?
No.
Okay.
No.
And
she tells you that if it would affect you, and she was followed up by saying, knowledge shared amongst friends is only gained, not halved.
The question is, though, Juliet, will releasing Harvale's shackles affect you in any way? And the deals you made?
I will not be making any deals with him. Merely a mutual interest.
Okay.
That is very wise.
See what he did with his hand there? He has an inkling towards fire.
I'm going to... Yeah. Should we try and sway her or consort or try and convince her to join us with the meeting with Strangford? Sorry, Scurlock.
I mean, she's one of our cohorts, right? So
yeah,
you can tell. In all intents and purposes, while she's shady, she's your gang member.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, her flaw, I believe, that she's principled.
I know, she's like
principled and
reliable.
Right, yes, so principled and reliable, and the two flaws are that she won't always be when you need her, and she's got her own agenda. Yeah. But her agenda, she tells you categorically, does not conflict with yours, and if it does, she will tell you.
Okay, I'll ask her to join us with Scurlock on the one's meeting.
You have to make a roll for this one, simply because she's unreliable, so you can get past her unreliable here.
Yeah.
She basically, you'd know that you pick up in the sense, and if you're in the room with her, she's got no need. She didn't need to see him, but she's going to need to see Scurlock.
Yeah.
And it's that, well, why would I risk myself?
Yeah.
But if you can convince her, So it'd be risky standards. Like, it's not controlled, it's not desperate. She's just reluctant. She sees no gain in it for her particularly.
Okay.
So you convince her to do so.
I guess I'll give her a consort and be like,
You might learn something.
yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Advanced player technique.
Words.
Think of something cool, and Merrick said it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I go with Merrick's slick talk. So it is 4.
Interesting. I'll join you after. She's not fully convinced. You seem to have a limited effect. She will be willing to join you after the meeting at his place, but sees no current reason. You can certainly pursue it if you wish. Press on. So you do it. You convince her to go there, but just not for the whole thing.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
So she'll turn up towards the end, basically.
Okay.
So basically, I'll meet you there. So if you guys say like, oh, we're going there now, she's like, I'll be with you in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So she'll turn up, just not for the whole thing. She's not coming with you immediately. So is there anything else to do before you go and see him?
No. Just wait for.
Are you changing your loads? You could have left gear in the carriage certainly very easily.
I think I'll still go with light.
Going with light.
Yeah. I think I'll still go with light. I think we need to show Scurlock that we're not.
Yeah, we're just there to talk.
I mean, would we have gotten advice from Harvale on that point of like how to go, how to approach, what our demeanour should be?
Would you like to do a flashback to ask him?
Yes.
What role would you like to take to convince him?
I guess that's just the standard, like, within conversation. So it'd just be like while we're talking about how to do the invite and how to get there. So I guess it would be consort.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Effects.
They're controlled standard. You've already convinced them. You're somewhat friends.
Yeah. Okay, control standard. 5.
So what you know. So when a spirit bonds the living body, it becomes a vampire. It can also happen if it goes possessive for too long. It destroys the original spirit, or when a hollow is specifically prepared for the ritual.
Yeah.
That's the three of becoming a vampire. Possession, destruction, or preparation. Scholars of the Arcane say that vampirism breaks the chains of being, and that basically the spirit essentially diffuses into the physical shell, thus giving the physical host immortality.
Yeah.
While destroying the original soul's echo Indigo's field, so it's now beyond the realm of death, beyond the veil, so to speak. Some people argue that this is how to break the cycle of afterlife madness. That if a spirit possesses a body, it doesn't go insane. So that's how you become immortal, and that this is like a new form of evolution, so to speak. Other ones, of course, are like, no, it's absolutely ridiculous, it's a vampire. Cool. You also know, Merrick, you would know this, that there was a vampirism movement in the 6th century that achieved significant popularity, and the Spirit Wardens utterly crushed it. That it was the idea that this idea of vampirism is the next step in humanity's evolution, and that if we all become vampires, we all live forever, and that's the way to break the cycle of madness. That there is no gates of death. Spirits don't go into the next realm. They're stuck here. This is our new thing. Most people are completely rare. Most people consider them to be legendary or mythical. When the Spirit Wardens discover one, they take great pains to destroy it in secret to not disturb the. All these things you would know and what combination. Basically, what he's told you is all these things coming together is keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Scurlock goes off reputation alone. Don't take any electroplasm with you. Scurlock would not like that. Because that's one way. It's because while in mythology vampires were destroyed by the sun, that's no longer possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He basically said if you're going to Scurlock, you better have a good reason to go. And you better have something to offer him. Don't waste his time. And you should be fine.
Did he give us an example of what that could be?
What does he want for Scurlock usually?
Let's have a look. What you guys would know. So, first of all, Scurlock is considered part of the underworld. He's also, you'd be aware, this is level 3 strong. So, you know you're going to meet him at 6 Towers. He has numerous business holdings across the city. He counts as a large gang of 20 people. So, here is Scurlock's allies and enemies, right? Just to give you an idea who you're dealing with, because you'd know this. His allies are the City Council, the Bluecoats, the Inspectors, and the Forgotten Gods. His enemies are the Spirit Wardens and the Immortal Emperor. That's his enemies.
Okay.
Scurlock. He seeks arcane secrets. That's as much as you'd find out. Arcane secrets are of great interest to him.
Okay, so we've got something to offer him then in that case, because if we can get that piece of the skull back, we know that's something to offer him. And we can offer our services to try and do something for him against the Spirit Wardens. I don't know.
Arcane secrets.
Someone has an arcane secret.
Shadow play. Intrigue. He has no need material wealth. He has no need for that.
Even divulge details of the Ghost Have Highways, like brings Tombstone across to us. You might not be totally aware of that. It might be. We could say we found a way to access it and actually use it, harness it. Well, what are you thinking?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, we'll jump into it. I think we'll bring Tombstone along with us.
Bring Tombstone. Cool.
Just in case we need a...
So 2 of you plus Tombstone.
Yeah.
And then Juliet will turn up later.
Yeah.
Cool. So, unless anything we should do, we'll just jump straight to Scurlock's meeting.
Yeah.
So, Scurlock Manor. Because he has a manor. So, Scurlock is an ancient noble, Said to be immortal like the Emperor. Possibly a vampire or a sorcerer. Obsessed with the occult. That is the public information. Most people believe him to just be a bit of a madman. You guys know otherwise. So, you are given the address by Harvale, where Scurlock Manor is, and it's not hard to find. She takes you on one of the main roads in Six Towers, and as you go past the dilapidated manors, the rundown nobility, the sight of ruined wealth, and those who now live in the shadow of or the echo, you should say, of the privilege. So, these manors are converted to flats and lofts, that kind of thing. There are some just rundown manors whose families are either moved to Brightstone or even moved abroad to places like Aruvia, and they still own it, but they just left it to ruin. So it's a bit like the parts of London where you drive down some beautiful houses and then just an absolute ruin. You carry on. But the streets are wide and not many electric lights here. Again, this was the nice part before Brightstone took over and the older nobility moved out. You eventually come to Scurlock Manor, and much like its namesake, Six Towers, it does have 6 major towers in this large manor house. The garden is large but well kept, seemingly well kept, unlike most places. There are some fountains which have moss and overgrown leaves. Looks like they haven't been cleaned for a little while. There are some dead leaves floating in them, but they still work. Ornately carved, 2 on either side. Romina says, "Do you want me to wait here or shall I circle around for a bit?"
Yeah, don't make it obvious. Just circle around.
Okay, I'll keep nearby. Okay.
Might be a couple of hours. Who knows?
Lights are all dark. You're probably about 9 o'clock by the time you get there. Now you're into the evening now. The pathway leads up, straight line, up the steps, 3 steps to the manor itself. And for all intents, it looks like that door is a yawning portal to another realm.
Just swing it open.
Just try the door if you wish.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Open straight away. 2 doors, both open. As you go inside, despite the windows being black, the interior is extremely well lit, with just hundreds of candles. Looks like they've all been recently kind of purchased, or certainly not the drip and wax you'd expect from a vampire's home.
Okay.
As you come in, there is a butler waiting for you who didn't answer the door. You tried it, he's opened it, he's like, the master's expecting you. He's short hair on top, very well dressed. The manor is actually similar in build to Forsyth's, which the large stairs going up to a 2nd floor.
Yeah.
Looks like whoever built these manors might have been a similar architect or architects who built multiple ones. And while there are some differences, you get the sense the layout isn't too dissimilar. There are 2 large wings, the stairs go up to them, it goes left and right, and this has multiple more towers, it looks like a bigger area, but the same base layout. As you walk through the hallways, you see, and it's well lit, there are some electric lights, though most of it's still candle lit. You see numerous portraits of various Scurlocks, and they have their ages and their dates, and as you get to one point you realise one of them has just the same birth date, but no death. And it's just a similar looking figure in different fashions of the eras, and you realise, this guy's been around for a while. If this is either it's a joke, and it's a one in very poor taste, and he's had and this guy's got more money than sense, and just has numerous paintings of him in different styles, or it really is the same guy throughout the centuries. Takes you to what looks to be a kind of sitting room. And inside, fulfilling every stereotype you would imagine of what your class as a vampire seems to be, who you believe to be Lord Scurlock. The room is empty. The room is large. There is food laid out for you. There are wine, there is drinks, there is various meats, all looks well cooked, well kept. There is a hearth, but the fire is dead and cold. The room is warm, seems to be heated by some other source. Chandelier above you lights most of the room. Scurlock himself is a tall gentleman, well over 6 foot if he was standing, but he's not, he is sitting. His hands rest upon a silver cane, black with a silver top. His hair is long and golden, it goes past his shoulders, is immaculately well kept. His features are sharp, aquiline, very pale. His eyes are slight almonds. Looks like he might have Aruvian blood in him at some point, though he's extremely pale.
How old does it look?
He looks indeterminable, but if you had to guess his age, possibly 30s, 40s at whatever point. But there is an age to his eyes that tell of far many years. If you had to guess, you'd probably say he's more in his 50s, but he just looks very good for his age.
Right.
But then as you look at him going, or is he just someone who had a hard life and hides it well?
Yeah.
His mouth is a sharp, short slit. Almost as if someone stuck a knife in a mannequin and drew a line across it. Wears black clothes with a white shirt, it's black waistcoat, black jacket, short, real crisp white shirt, buttons to right to the top of a small brooch. Not a tie, but a small brooch. It's hard to make out what it is from a distance. Around his neck. His legs are crossed, and he simply gestures to you. His hands are well manicured. You see his fingers are long, his nails pointed.
Okay. He just to take a seat.
Gestures for you to sit opposite him. He is on a chair opposite a sofa.
Alright.
Is there a room for 3?
And there is room for 3. And the chair is the only it like dominates that side of the room.
Yeah.
He sits opposite the table with the food.
I'll nod to him and say, Thadeus Clinker, nice to meet you, Lord Scurlock.
He nods slowly.
Merrick Daines, likewise.
Is that?
He nods slowly.
I'll say,
Take a seat.
and this is our associate. What's her real name?
You
I got.
did get it at one point.
I'm going to say Tombstone. The Tombstone, like a wrestler. Tombstone. Victoria O'Donnell.
Victoria O'Donnell.
Yes.
I believe she's from Dagger Isles?
Yeah.
O'Donnell from, yeah. O'Donnell from
Dagger Isles, yeah.
O'Donnell's Dagger Isles, yeah. Okay.
I'll say, is Lord Scurlock, is that the right name to use in your presence? Or would you prefer us to use another greeting name?
He seems to listen to you, almost as if he's tasting the words before responding. So an awkward, too long a pause,
Yeah.
and just as you're about to interrupt, you feel the need to say something else. He does reply with a bit of a drawl to his accent. We are in the company of friends, are we not? So my friend will simply suffice.
Excellent. Well, my friend, we have a bit of a proposal. We hope we have something to offer, and in return, we'd ask a favour of you or information.
Before we begin, please eat. You will forgive me if I do not join you, for I have already dined. And let us talk about pleasant things.
Some small talk.
There's no such thing as small talk. Every word you utter betrays your personality, your beliefs, your drives. You can learn much if you only listen. So, what maketh you of the city itself? And he does, for all intents and purposes, go into small talk, but he listens eagerly to everything you have to say.
Can we do like a consort role to basically give a good impression of us?
Absolutely. That would be exactly what the kind of thing that would happen here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who would like to do this? You could do it as a group effort.
Yeah, do a group
Or lead
action.
a team
I
action.
think we do a group action, yeah.
You gonna lead?
I will.
So I on consort have 1, and Tombstone will probably get 1 as well. Tier 1. She's not
Yeah.
good at consort.
No, yeah, she's... Yeah.
I feel like leading this group action is basically my way of being like, Merrick's also listening to what everyone's saying and is like butting in if people give
What
too much.
he
or,
means
like,
to say. What she means to
totally
say.
that what she means. What he means to say.
He's backseat driving, except he has to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good.
So...
6.
Oh my,
yeah,
no
we
stress,
smashed it.
no stress.
Oh, if only we had that crits across though.
Okay, so yeah, I got 6 for... Yeah, no stress.
Wow, so
we got
you know what? They've surprisingly well behaved.
We got a 6. That's not a crit, but it is a 6.
It's a 6, so you do that. He's eager for your news, but specifically he seems mostly eager for your opinions
Right.
on what you think of the city, of recent political movements, what your state of the council.
Is that his main driving of the conversation? Is it like ideas or the state of the city, basically.
Yeah, and he seems to deflect any question back at you. So it's not obvious at first. At first, it's more like, oh, this is interesting. And he is engaging, and he is charismatic, and you find he says every now and again he gives an input or an insight, and you think, oh, I never thought about it like that. Well, that's an interesting point of view. He's clearly well read and clearly well educated.
Yeah.
Does he ask about the Scotland Rebellion?
He does. He's very interested. Again, all current news, all current affairs, he's extremely interested in, especially again your opinions of it. And individually, and any disagreements, he would almost mediate and say, why do you think that? And why would you oppose such a view?
Yeah.
He makes a good argument, or Victoria makes a good some points. Why would you disagree? But okay, interesting. That kind of almost play mediator.
Can we perhaps try in much a similar way that he's doing?
Yeah.
Can we try and press him on more arcane avenues of conversation?
Absolutely.
Especially when we bring up the husks.
Yeah, and try and basically try and replicate what he's doing to us, but try and do it back to him, in terms of leading questions.
Yeah.
I know he's probably just going to deflect it back, but that's what we're going to attempt to do, at least to acknowledge that that's what he's trying to do to us.
Okay, certainly, yeah. Play the game, playing the consort game.
Yeah.
Social fencing. Who would be doing this?
I think that's very much like a Merrick sort of thing.
Yeah, very much is.
If only someone could ask that question.
It is. It's a question of how would the rules for that? Am I studying him or
what do you want to do? How do you want to turn this around? How do you want to manipulate the conversation? Or how would Merrick manipulate the conversation here? If he knows someone's deflecting, how would he get behind that? Do you think? He could study him. Absolutely. He could just consult and spy his out, and he could also try and I think study works. Hunted answer.
I think I'll go for a sway and just kind of sway the conversation in that
oppose his opinions to make him, because at the moment he's not given any. He's
exactly.
listening to yours.
Be a bit provocative with opinions.
Okay, like a documentary filmmaker under his skin a little bit. Yeah, okay.
A little bit devil's advocacy sometimes.
Oh yeah, perhaps giving not a wrong, but wrong information about arcane and saying, oh yeah, it's definitely like this in a guise to try and get him to
correct you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's check something here. He's still a man in that term. So, right, put it this way. This is going to be an interesting one, because how provocative do you want to be? Do you want to be controlled, risky, or desperate?
I kind of want to be desperate.
And I will tell you now, whatever you choose, you get the opposite effect level.
Yeah. So what, controlled is limited?
Controlled, limited, risky, standard, desperate, great.
This is the man, if you want to provoke him, you'll get more of a response. If you provoke him well, of course, the higher the risk, the higher the reward, the more the risk, right?
I want to go desperate.
You can choose this. Because Merrick's in the conversation depends how...
I'm going to go desperate and I'm going to push myself.
Okay, he's going controversial. Do you want to push yourself or do you want to bargain?
What you got? What are you selling me? What you selling me, man? Bring it on. Just not tainted.
Alright, I agree. It's all or nothing. If a negative connotation comes out of this, you can't resist it.
No, hell no.
Okay. Okay, I tried.
I'm taking that stress. I'm getting a third dice. I am swaying this conversation.
You're lowly.
And I get a 5.
Ooh. Desperate. You do it with
taking my desperate experience.
You do it with a consequence. Is there anything specific you'd like to know, or just get some kind of opinion out of him? Is there any topic you would like him to actually try and engage in, the Scott Revolution, or anything specific you'd want to know? Because anything you know, I
think the possession of the husks is the best way to get to what we want, which is how to call a ghost into a body, which is very much similar to the husk.
I think our best approach here, in terms of giving him what he wants, he obviously does not like the Spirit Wardens. We kind of know that. If we can convince him that what we want to do is against the Spirit Wardens, then maybe he's going to be more open to it. So I think it's almost, we're trying to get him off his guard on that sense, get kind of what he thinks about the Spirit Wardens, and going to the husks, and the Spirit Wardens are obviously dealing with them, what do you think about that?
Perhaps we can make the husks a bit more dangerous to them. Perhaps, we could do that as a service if you could give us the information we need. Obviously, that's not our end goal to wanting to know this information. We haven't broached that subject yet. I'm just saying that's our general tact when it gets to the point of actually asking him what we want.
Okay.
We haven't talked business yet.
So, as you start to talk about the hollows, husks, those without souls, he would he would turn around and almost shut you down. No. Shut you down. The response of we can make it more dangerous. No, you can't. You specifically cannot.
Right. Okay.
You perhaps, meaning Victoria, Tombstone.
Yeah.
But no, you absolutely could not. And those such things are abominations, and you should not be allowed to live. They should be burnt immediately. For the first time in their long career, the Spirit Wardens are doing something rather useful.
Okay.
Interesting.
Those things are the vessel or the prepared vessel, I believe, of someone seeking enlightenment. Going about it completely the wrong way. The rest the work of a serial killer, the other work of a madman.
I'm gonna flex a bit here and say mention the Enlightenment movement with the vampires. I mean, I'm guessing the subject of vampires has not come up yet.
Not unless you've brought it up.
I'm gonna bring it.
You're bringing it up now.
Oh man.
Okay.
I'm saying, cool. Yeah, I've heard of that Enlightenment movement. It was very prevalent with the vampires. You know, not many people believe in them. But
okay, what role do you want to do here?
I don't know. It's just a consort, I suppose. Like,
go for it. Risky cajole. Do you mark it desperate?
I did. Yeah,
just bringing it up.
The consequence of that is you've got under his skin a little bit, so the next one's going to be desperate as well.
Mine's desperate?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's going to be desperate, because Merrick is provoking him. To get an answer, and you certainly got one.
True. Okay.
And now you're asking about vampires.
Yeah, desperate. I'll resist it if I need to.
Okay.
I'll resist it. Let's see what it is. Let's see what he says.
What my friend here means...
Oh, sorry, it's desperate standard.
I give you the look.
So what do you actually say to him? Oh, the vampire lightning movement.
Yeah.
Do you believe in vampires, Thadeus, my friend?
I very much do so.
Why do you believe when so many don't?
I believe what I can see, Lord Scurlock. Is that going to annoy him? I mean, is that... What's the consequence of this? Just tell me.
Just get over and tell me.
The consequence is this paranoia that there's going to be a consequence.
He's going to mark you.
Oh, God.
In a way only he knows.
Pee on you. He's going to vampire pee on you.
So, he's going to tell you this, and as he tells you, it's part of what he's doing, that you can resist it.
He doesn't have to tell me, like, if I feel something
he wants to tell you something.
Oh,
he's
right.
going to tell you something, because he wants to tell you something. He's telling you he's going to do it, and you'll be aware of it. He tells it openly as part of the conversation. Do you know how vampires survive?
I don't know very much about them, to be honest.
What do you know from stories? You tell me. You've heard stories, you sure?
They feast on people's life essence.
They drink
blood.
That's was the story.
Yes, yeah, they drink blood.
Yeah.
That's what the common. I've been since corrected by a friend, actually.
Well, some of them do. It's not too wrong. But the point is, they feed on the life essence of those still living. A vampire is, after all, an undead body possessed by a spirit, giving great strength and power. The blood is rather coarse. Each vampire feeds on its victim now in its own way. It's rather unique as individual as the being behind it and the being upon which it is performed. But each leaves a distinct telltale mark, whether that is fangs in the neck, arcane symbols. Let me show you. And before you can move, he's grabbed your arm and one of his hands come out and he's about to mark you and show you physically, do you want to resist it?
I will resist it, and the way I'll do it is it's not too obvious. I mean, the thing that sprang to my mind was just like basically like as he's done that, like basically just reach for my breast like there and press the spirit vein charm like into my skin through my Hawker's rigging, and attempt to sort of divine myself to a degree or something like that.
Certainly. Make
Just don't know whether that's going to make him even more angry.
Probably.
Make your roll, man.
A crit.
A crit. Nice. Oh, you crit. That is awesome.
2 stress.
So, as you do that, he touches you. And he just looks at you. And there's this moment locking eyes of, oh, I know what you've done. And there's almost a sardonic grin.
Right.
And he's almost, you feel like he might even be slightly impressed. Like,
Okay.
oh, excellent, you've done your research. As if, almost like a mark of respect. He's taken as a mark of respect that you fear him.
Yeah.
So it's just, oh, excellent.
Okay.
I am dealing with someone here who is aware of what I am. Excellent. Almost like, and he takes his hand back. But he holds it for a second. You can see now where his hand is, a red mark on his hand, like he's been burnt almost.
Yeah.
And for a second now, he's going to sit back. And he doesn't do anything that you perceive. But you find yourselves averting your gaze. For a moment, he becomes extremely difficult to look at directly.
Oh, God.
As if you just, something like, you have to look away almost. Like looking at, your character will know, you guys know, the character will know, looking at the sun.
Yeah.
You know it's there, but you just can't look directly at it.
Yeah.
And a few seconds pass and the feeling stops. You don't know what he did, but it was almost like, if you want to defy me, I too can defy you.
I feel like, okay.
And then suddenly, the tension passes.
Can I...
Oh, did you heal your stress?
Yeah, I took it off.
Nice.
I went down to 2.
Sorry,
go on.
I want to just like interject at this point, and you're like, I can feel that there's a bit of tension in the air. That it's it's getting a bit heated. I'm like, well, I feel like this conversation is all very well, but should we perhaps get to business?
Yes.
Can I do like a flashback at this point?
Yep.
I want to basically try and get that that piece of skull back. Can I like command my thugs to do like a smash and grab on like the blue coat's evidence locker, or would that be too much to do?
You certainly could have done it.
Right.
It's not there.
Right. Okay.
At the moment, you wouldn't know where
it is. Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. What we'd say you could do, just trying to make because
I don't mind taking the stress cost to do it. Like,
yeah, it's
it's complicated.
No, it's not that. We can definitely do it, but it'll be more than a flashback.
Oh right.
What we'd say is for funsies, so that you guys are aware of it. Let's say your thugs do the smash and grab.
Yeah.
They don't find it.
Okay.
And then you guys are now aware of, someone's moved it,
right,
which will be its own intrigue. And then what you'd be aware of now is, and what they would have found, just as a side note, is there is no log of it leaving the evidence station, but it's not there. Cool, so what you would be able to know, and what LaRose, and you'd know from working with LaRose, that means someone's taken it off the books.
Yeah.
Which is highly unorthodox. It is illegal.
Yeah.
Someone's taken the evidence. Which would mean someone in that station either knew what it was, or knew someone who would want it.
Yes.
And has taken it for their own purposes. Now, it's not a big station. You can definitely find out probably who and what, but that would be a score.
Okay, cool.
To find out who's taken it and why.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yep. So you're trying to do.
Was there any stress for that flashback? Though?
No.
Okay.
It's like, I'm telling your guys to do a smash and grab.
Yeah.
They will go there, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. And because there's nothing there for them to find, unfortunately.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks earlier, and they would have had it.
Right, yeah.
Down to business.
Down to business, I think.
Down to business.
Indeed. Have you eaten anything?
No.
Tombstone's totally you.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she's totally you. She's like, great. You've eaten as
I
well?
probably would, yeah.
You're not hungry, Thadeus?
I've recently had a bit of food poisoning. Emphasis on the poisoning.
Okay. That's quite cool. What are your characters thinking and feeling right now?
I think Thadeus would feel quite threatened after, the speed of his movement and the grabbing him, and he knew what he attempted to do to him. Probably a little bit scared.
I think Merrick is thinking we are way out of our depth here.
Okay.
And is just trying to keep the situation controlled and is constantly glancing to make sure that there's escape routes, things like that. He's kind of like making sure that he's got bases covered, I guess.
Okay, cool. So with that in mind, how you feel is going to dictate, because he can basically sense it.
Yeah.
He's got his abilities. Which, if you become a vampire, you can do as well. Cool.
If I become a vampire.
Yeah. Secretly, Dan's got a vampire playbook. He can hear your true thoughts. Not that you know that.
No.
Or at least, if you've heard him shot, right? So, okay. Business. Well, I believe I should show rather than tell. You've come here searching for answers from what our mutual acquaintance has said, something to help you tear a rift. Come with me. And he suddenly just blinked, he's by the door. Like, you didn't see him move, you just see him you just felt it more than see him, and he's by the door. Open, his hand on his cane. Gesturing for you to walk.
Okay. Take my own cane and get up.
And as he walks, he's suddenly playing the role of gracious host again. He's pointing out his various ancestors. He doesn't start doing it until he gets to the one that has a death date. The first one, 11 has a death date.
Yeah.
The ones, all the non-death dates, he just ignores. He's just like, yes. And my great grandfather, he did this, and this lady, my great grandmother, she helped build part of the city. In fact, one of the orphanages in Crow's Foot, she was one of the founding patrons of it, and so on and so forth. He takes you to the main foyer, and then where the stairs go up, he takes you to a door which you didn't see it in the back of the stairs and goes down. He opens the way, takes a small candelabra from the side table and starts to walk down and down. And the air begins to go cold, and there's a dampness to the air. You start to feel a bit of wetness held within this underground chamber which he's leading you to. And then he takes you. There we go.
So the stairs going down, they go quite a way. Is it straight
not
or
too far. It's spiraling down. Yeah. And he takes you to what looks to be an underground river. Well, there obviously comes in. Obviously got an underground dock here. But he walks along it. You see boats. So this isn't unusual. Manor houses have their own docks, some of them. But what he does, he takes you to the end of the dock, basically. Where it's not big enough for several small boats. You see a door, but you see no obvious lock on it. But he holds his hand in it for a few seconds, just seems to hold it, and then the door opens. But you don't see him turn any handle. Some kind of lock, arcane lock, you'd imagine. And then he takes you down another set of stairs to go down and turn left. You now realise you're under the river, and this is far below. As you get down here, what you find now are several what look to be the remains of a excavation team. Not the bodily remains, but like there are pickaxes, there are shovels, there are clearly work is ongoing here. This is not, you see like boxes, tables, this is not finished. But what is down here is some kind of temple. You see a strange figure at the other end. This room's quite large. In fact, it's big and large. It's quite huge. And you can see that they're digging out part of these like tunnels, and you can see parts of stonework that are being revealed through the shovels, the pickaxes, the brushes. Bags of dirt are laid, and then clearly boxes being taken, clearly to be removed from this area. It's an excavation site. But you can see from what has been currently uncovered is a type of underground chamber, underground temple. There are water features all around it. The water from the river seems to feed into it, and it looks like this was clearly forgotten. The stonework, the architecture is completely different to the areas above. And as you were coming down, the starting bit, where he's walking down the stairs, is clearly new built. The bricks are new, the lights are new. The place for torches. But as you come down here now, you can see these bricks are ancient. You can see clearly where the new work is and the older temple has begun. This is some kind of ancient place that he looks like he's found or uncovered right beneath his house. Perhaps that's why he bought the house. The figure at the end, the statue, is a huge statue. It dominates the area. It's probably about 20 foot in height. It is a multi-armed, 8-armed figure, 4 on either side. It looks almost shark-like, not like Harvale, which is like this large mouth, but it looks almost shark-like, but humanoid in form. It's hard to make out. What you see is Scurlock enters. Several fires appear around the room. These torches, no electrical lights down here. It lights the room. What you can see is a huge well in the middle that's being fed from the water above. But though it's being fed with water, it doesn't seem to increase, as if the water is somehow, like when a sink is or a plug is blocked, the water begins to slowly drain. But if you turn a tap on it, it will stay the same because the water coming in is the same going out. It's like that. It's being fed, but it's not increasing. The water is pitch black. There's large wells in the room, which the room has steps to send down to it. It's just completely open. And the other figure, and this sharp, humanoid-like figure, this multi-limbed figure is on the other side. Each hand holds something different. You see a sword. You see what looks to be some kind of circular item. Several gems. Some kind of arcane staff. A book. And he walks down undisturbed, unperturbed. Even Tombstone's a bit taken back by the sight of this and where you are. He says, so, as he steps into the room, his footsteps echoing through the chambers, he rats scurrying away. His words carry across the sound of the water. Do business then. Do you know where we are?
Not a fucking clue.
Well, we're clearly under the river. I assume this is one of the canals that runs under the city.
This is not the canal, but you are under it, correct? How old do you think this place is?
Could I make a study roll to have a
certainly, absolutely,
rough idea?
Yeah.
Position effect?
I think controlled, maybe risky, because you're under a bit of pressure here. Just the whole thing's a bit odd. But I think risky standard. There's no physical risk here. It's just risky.
4.
It's in limited effect. You're not too sure. It's definitely a couple of centuries. It's like it's older than I don't know how old it is.
And how old are you?
Very old. I know I don't look it. It's very old. Old enough to remember when Doskvol was still called North Hook.
Mining Sea.
Yes. You know history. Do you know who that is? And he points to the multi-limb figure behind him.
Can Tombstone do a tune?
Certainly could do. Yeah,
not a tune roll, but like
why not?
Study, I suppose.
Yeah, it would be. She can tune if she wants. She can study it. Put it this way,
Is a tune? Okay, yeah.
Study it will be limited effect.
Right.
Her tune will be great effect. They are both one. So it will be study would be control risky limited. Her attune would be desperate great.
She get 2 dice because she's an expert. 3 dice
for a tune.
Yeah, she'll do a tune.
Okay, she gets an experience.
Do you want to roll it?
Go ahead.
Oh, 4 if she does with the consequence.
Ooh. I'm guessing it's going to be a harm. Maybe.
Tombstone walks forward. And she's tuning into it. And you see that glaze come over her eyes. Steps on the edge of the pool and goes face first into it and goes under the water. As if something like she's like a ridge with a board and just straight into it.
I'll immediately try and grab her out.
You see
grab her clothes, yeah.
As you grab her, go into the water and grab her, the water's freezing cold. You pull her out. She's grasping for air. And for a second, you thought you seen eyes in that darkness pool. Just for a second.
I'll say, what in the pool? Like, what sort of eyes?
Just at the bottom. You blink and they're gone.
Right.
You blink and they're gone. You can see the bottom now. You can see it's not, in fact it's quite shallow. It's not too deep. But when you first got there, it was pitch black and it looked like it was just an abyss. But as you're looking at it now, it's possibly a trick of the light. You don't know.
As I sit her down, I go, "What the fuck are you doing, Tombstone?"
And she's lucid. The water seems. At least you look at it going, maybe the water wakes her up. Maybe the water makes her lucid. Because she's just like, That is Satara. And she used the word Satara.
Okay.
Scurlock nods. Yes. And who is Satara? And she, I don't know. She's a demon. If a gender can be assigned such a thing, she's a demon of the waves. She was once considered a god. This is clearly a temple to her. The old miners, whichever civilization ruled this part of the island, clearly prayed to her for power and knowledge, and guides are much like the sea. He put gestures to her sword. She was vicious, and just as a book, as she was knowledgeable. At least that was their interpretation of her. And suddenly the water begins to swirl in the pool. Where you see the bottom disappears into an inky blackness. As if it's just the bottom, the very bottom is falling away, and begins to swirl, and then starts to almost come out like a tornado out of the water. And he just doesn't move. How close are you guys to the pool?
Well, I've just pulled her out, so
Yeah.
I'd be relatively close.
You can certainly step back if you wish.
Yeah, I'll step and drag it.
Yeah,
it back.
I'd be about as far away as Scurlock would be.
Okay.
I'll say to Scurlock, "Is this your doing?"
Just gets
Looking at her
louder and
nervously.
bigger. Suddenly the water poof, crashes across the temple, and you get a bit wet from this impact, but you're not too close. You're not completely soaked. Nice avoiding the water there. And he just looks up at you now. Now you have an idea of who I work with. Don't fuck with me. And his whole demeanour's changed now in this underground temple. To business then. What do you wish from me? As he stands there, you see now almost like these arms of this statue behind him almost coming out of him, as if he's like some kind of strange angelic divine being, but where the wings should be there are arms, and above his head, in shadowing him, is this shark-like maw.
We come in search of certain knowledge
Yes.
in order to perform a ritual.
Yes.
This much you know, of course.
Yes. The rituals.
We require the calling of a aggressive spirit into a body, and perhaps the tearing of the void, or opening of the void. That is the information we seek.
The power to summon spirits, particularly those of anger and great hatred. Yes. Such a thing is done, can be done. Find a spirit who was murdered wrongly, has vengeance on its breath, on its hands, desire for blood. Yes, such a thing can be done.
And of opening the void.
Yes. Such a thing can be taught. You are aware, such as I imagine, such a thing will take a stress upon your toll and your body. But if you're willing to pay the price, such power will be yours. His whole demeanour has changed now. Suddenly now it is down to business, as you say. And what do I get in return for this? What do you bring to me? What power do you offer in return?
I'll prompt Tombstone to mention. Let me just do a flashback.
Yep.
Are you okay with telling them about the what do you call it? The ghost
I'm
of
going to make
Highways?
some notes.
Yeah.
And he knows about it. He doesn't know. I don't know. We'll prompt that. See if he knows anything about it, or like if he already knows about it.
Yeah.
We'll tell him that we'll tell him that we know about the spirits of highways and we've found a way to travel in it. And basically we're working on. We'll mention to. Or should we just mention a recall, lucid recall? I'll just mention the lucid recall. So we believe we have the ability to recall anyone's past memories, even ones that themselves they've thought they've forgotten.
Make a roll. He's definitely interested.
Well, I think we'll do another group one.
Yeah.
Group one.
Look,
So as you stand there in this cold, wet temple underground, this man framed by the shadow of a statue above him with whatever strange power he deals with. You're not sure here looking at it if he's the master or the servant. It's very difficult to tell what this relationship between these two things is.
We'll give away the small prize first, so we'll mention the ghosts of highways first, along with the travelling. Yeah. See if that piques his interest at all. Yeah. And if he is totally ambivalent to that because he already knows everything about that, then we'll go on to the lucid recall. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the situation when we don't know what he's interested in.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're just kind of drip feeding. And
we'll just say that and we'll go, that is not enough. I smite thee. Okay, we'll do that first. So it's going to be sway, obviously.
Risky this is, but this will be great. Risky grace. Because he loves his arcane knowledge.
And how's it going to work? Are we going to have to do one roll for the first thing and then another roll for the second thing?
You see how this one goes.
Okay.
So this is for the Dead Off Highways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. I failed.
Okay, so I take one stress.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be worried, but you're not stressed out. It's nothing to worry about.
No, it's fine. It's all good.
And that was risky standard.
Risky standard. Risky great.
Risky great.
So we get five overall.
Such a thing is interesting. To travel the highways of the dead. Do you think that is a worthy offering to summon the spirits themselves?
I believe that's the payment for...
Do I look like the type of man who needs to travel fast?
No. We've seen your speed. You're quite fast, but I don't know what powers you hold, you see. Do you have the power to access or secured place? Oh shit.
Travelling fast is insignificant when it comes to travelling unseen, surely.
I can be unseen if I wish. You look up and he's gone.
Okay.
He is gone.
Okay.
You're still in the room. He's just not from that statue anymore. There is an expectant air, as if he's waiting for something.
I'll say to him, I believe that's the right price for the possession part of the information require.
And now his voice.
Do you agree with that? Those terms.
I believe I am being shortchanged. Change.
Yeah, we'll mention the lucid recall. And we'll say that we have the ability for a being to remember any past memories, even ones which they'd forgotten themselves. Lost knowledge, I guess you'd call it. I'm sure that would interest you greatly.
Make a roll. I think there's another roll here.
Sweet.
Another group sway?
If you want to do a group, how you want to do it, or we can do.
I can lead it. What sort of stress you want?
I'll lead it.
Are you sure? I can lead it with my command.
It's Merrick feeling bold. He's taking charge of the conversation.
I'll lead it.
Okay, you lead it.
I'm going to use my command.
I just want to know who's leading it for funsies.
Yes, me.
You're leading it?
Yeah, because I'll let you use your commands, so you get more dice, it's fine.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Sorry.
You're telling him about it. He already sensed it because he can read into you. So this would be risky great again.
Of course.
3, 2, 1. Ooh. Tombstone did not help us at all.
No, Tombstone's the one.
She's just like not in the conversation. She's like, this place is amazing. She's like, this is awesome. This place is great.
And she just
so
took a dip in the pool.
Yeah, she's freezing cold as well. She's like, I'm so into this. Interesting.
We had a lot of sixes early on, and then we've not had
That's
any for
alright.
a long time.
That's alright. It's still succeeding.
You suddenly hear just like a voice right behind your ear. both of you.
Okay.
And a hand falls on your shoulders. One on yours, one on yours. It stands between you now, right behind you, and just goes, "We are going to be very good friends." And he turns and opens the door and gestures for you to return back upstairs.
Okay.
And suddenly, he is the charming host again.
I'll say to him, I'm glad we came to a deal, an arrangement.
As he gets to the top of the stairs, he doesn't reply to that. He closes the door. He then turns to you and then says, "So am I."
I'll say, just out of interest, do you give that show to everybody you work with?
Only the most deserving.
Well, I'm flattered.
Yes. Excellent. So, come. Let me show you the ways beyond the veil. I hope you will thank me and not hate me when the work is done. And he will take you, unless anything you wish to do, to his arcane practicing room.
Okay.
You walk in, it's a stone room, complete stone. Looks like it's been made this way purposely. It's upstairs. There are 4 small pillars. There are numerous books and tomes in this middle of the circle. And he shows you the ritual. How to summon and banish, if you need to do so, a spirit.
Okay.
And it's a spirit, it's a victim of murder.
Yeah.
It's a spirit who has died a horrific death. And you are going to summon it in its last throes of life.
So would it be a good idea to find someone who's been wronged by the grinders or has been killed by them? That wouldn't help.
You can try if you can. What he's going to tell you how to do it, the one he's going to teach you, is that it doesn't matter. Because the spirit is going to believe it's fighting for its life. It's the last... It's called... What he's going to base it's a combination, but you heard it called a death echo. A death echo is a spirit caught in a loop of death. Yeah. They're usually harmless. They can't see beyond it. It's repeating. He's going to teach you to basically pull it and stick it into a human body.
Right, okay.
So it's going to believe it's fighting its aggressors. So it's going to fight like a drowning man would fight, or a person trapped or buried alive. How they frantically trying to survive and claw and in a frenzy. You're going to pull a spirit, in its last in its death throes, and he's going to show you how to have that possess someone, but believe it's still there. So if it possesses Hutton, it's not Hutton. Yeah, if that spirit using Hutton's body is only going to see what it sees, and it's going to interpret the world around it as it knew. Basically, it's a frenzy or berserk spirit. Okay. And he's going to teach you how to banish it as well.
Sounds good.
If you need to.
The important part.
Yeah. I mean, you could just kill the host, right? You kill the body, right?
That's what I'm hoping is going to happen.
I mean,
Well, something that it's like this is not going to be like it's not going to be like bear in mind it's still a human body it's possessing. But if you need to destroy the spirit, here's how you do so. And you can basically banish it. It's the equivalent of an arcane lock or an arcane glyph. Yeah. Of this is how we summon it, and this one punches it back. Yeah. Start, stop.
Cool. Sounds good.
The ritual we'll write up. Yeah. Work out.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you wish to accomplish?
No.
I think we have a wonderful new business partner.
He has an extensive library, which he does also say to you, you're welcome to use it any time.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh.
Knowledge should not be kept secret.
Oh, God.
No, then. Okay.
I've seen you behind the books, you're walking through the house.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Well, I ask if you return them to their proper place. It has taken a lifetime to collect and sort these.
Obviously, I can't...
Literally.
I can't follow Merrick, like, whenever he goes to the library or anything like that. So, I mean, while we're there, do you take any interest in...
One thing you would notice, he always invites Merrick into the room. Would you like to come in?
Seriously? Okay.
All of you, but you only notice it for Merrick.
Well, the short time we're there with Scurlock on the first sort of like meeting we have, can I like do a study roll to see what sort of books Merrick's like interested in, or like the ones he's pulling off the shelf?
You cool with that?
Yeah, you can do. I'm not taking a massive amount of interest in it this time, just because I'm so on edge with like what's happening.
Okay, fair enough.
But I definitely have had a glance at some, so it's probably I'd consider it limited effective.
Okay, yeah, I'll do study.
If I'm allowed to do position effect just once.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't even matter.
Because I mean, all I'm saying that I would imagine Merrick would have caught a glimpse of some of them.
Yeah.
So it's as open as you want to be with it.
I mean, Merrick doesn't actually know much information. What's up with him anyway? Like so. Yeah. I thought.
That's 42.
What kind of books would grab Merrick's interest?
Um,
What would Thadeus see? You know, because basically, Scurlock's got topics on almost everything.
I would say that Merrick does not really have much of a grasp of what's actually going on. So he can feel something and he knows it's something arcane. So probably if there was like a book or like a section of arcane maladies or arcane afflictions, things like that, that would probably be what he's most interested in.
Afflictions of the soul.
Yeah.
And other diseases. The Encyclopedia of Demons.
Which of course is right next to the vampire section, but no.
The European Book of the Dead,
Well,
so on and so
vampirism might have been seen as an affliction by some people.
Vampires, myth or reality, question mark. All kinds. The newest books.
Cool. Okay, that's cool.
So he teaches you a ritual. He walks you to the door. You've seen no other human servants in this time. Is there anything else you wish to accomplish?
No.
It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise.
I'm glad our agreement has been profitable for both. I feel pity for whoever you wish to unleash this on. I hope they deserve it. I'm sure they do. I will study the papers eagerly for news of your success.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. I think that's the score.
Good evening and good night.
Good evening.
Leave freely and of your own will. And open the door.
Guys, give me the creeps.
It has been a...
You tried to mark me, Merrick.
And as you walk in and go to the carriage, he will just stand on the door, on the steps, one hand on his cane, just watching you go the whole time.
I'll look back at the manor and I'll nudge Merrick and I'll say, you're welcome at his library whenever you want. I don't know why the fuck you never want to go there alone, but
There may be some valuable information there, but yes, probably would not wish to go there.
you better have a good reason.
I'm sure Tombstone will be there. Right?
Yeah, she's like pressed against the back of the carriage, just like, that was awesome.
Like a kid who's just been
was-
taken away
yeah.
from Toys R Us.
Yeah, she's like, that was so cool.
Okay, that's it.
Perhaps we shall.
She has no fear when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Perhaps we shall go back together, Tombstone, and investigate the library.
I think you could make him agree to certain things. He seems very interesting.
Well, it's what price those things come with.
And then you just hear a whisper under a breath. Anything's worth it. Like, anything is worth that. She's enamoured.
This is
She
creepy.
is enamoured.
She's got a crush. She's got a Scurlock look.
She's got a crush on a 500-year-old vampire. Mostly on his, definitely on his like sugar daddy, his lifestyle as opposed to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else for us to do? Well, I think that's the end of the score, isn't it?
No, that's it.
So
Yeah.
we just see Scurlock watching you leave as the camera pans out on the carriage, Marina driving away from dilapidated manor, Scurlock Manor, in the ruined, forgotten wealth of the Six Towers. So, what are you there for this week? Pick up next week with what I'm presuming will most likely be a very bad day for him.
Yeah.
Or
Probably.
it's probably going to be a bad day for someone.
It might be a bad day for us. Like we're on quite.
On low stress.
Yeah, but I mean we can't de-stress, so we're at a risky sort of point really at the minute.
It's probably like 4's probably the absolute worst.
Yeah.
But,
Even, I'm going to take a stress automatically.
If you
'Cause
don't.
my,
Oh yeah, you,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you don't recover.
Oh,
yeah.
you did this time, so that's okay.
I did do a stress relief this time.
If you don't stress relief, you go up to 4 because you try.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Cool. Some interesting things happen there.
Yeah, it feels like we're starting to open up those loose ends again, and now we've got quite a few things.
None of them are that bad though. I just want to finish this war.
No, but we've got another bloody Harvale mission.
No, he didn't really give. We gave him information. You gave us information. Oh, that Harvale mission. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is that.
Anyway.
But at least
Juliet Green's also in the car when you in the carriage when you get there.
Oh, nice of you to show up.
I did say I would arrive. I mean, no, rather quick.
Trust me, you made a good choice not coming to the meeting with us. To be honest, it was horrible. He tried to mark me.
Oh.
We'll touch that next week.
We should be thankful that he did not. If indeed he did not.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Thank you for joining us as always. I'll leave these two guys to wash off the experience. And yeah, I think we'll pick up next week. As always, feel free to hang after the credits where we'll discuss tonight's episode briefly and run through some experience.
Yes. XP.
Yeah, Lewis' favourite part of the game, I think after payoff.
What's that?
Your favourite part of the game after payoff.
Yes.
Any other news? So, of course, you can catch Blades in the Dark at the usual time and place. Guild of Gaming on YouTube. When will it be up, Dan? Right now,
Sundays
if you're watching
and
it.
Mondays. Right
Sundays
now
and
if you're watching it, yeah. Same every week.
Every week.
Every
The
week.
next episode will be up next Sunday and Monday. We've got other things coming up in the week. We have Guildhall.
Yep, so we've got an episode of Guildhall coming on Thursday, which I believe I'm not going to say which one it is because I'm like we recorded a couple, so I'm not 100% sure which one it is, so we'll wait.
And we have a new unboxing coming in the coming weeks, which is of a ship.
We are
pirate ship.
We've bought a boat.
What a boat! On a boat, motherfucker!
Why are all our unboxings like nautical related?
That's true.
Well, so far,
all
two.
two of them.
All two of them.
But we have an unboxing of a D&D of what's your boat called? The Falling Star.
The Fallen Star.
The
yes.
Falling Star. It's a D&D boat. It looks awesome. It's super excited to Dan's bought it. Super excited to see what it is and play with it because we're grown men and we like to play with toys.
Yeah, we got a pirate sword.
Yeah, we have a pirate sword. I seen one of them in town the other day. Someone had one in town.
Oh, cool.
As you do. Cool. So we got Guildhall Thursday, 7 p.m. 6 p.m. 7 p.m.
It's 6, 7
6,
ish.
7. Yeah, Thursday. So catch Guildhall on Thursdays. We discuss all things tabletop gaming. Betrayal Legacy will be up in the next couple of weeks. Our next episode. Catch it every 2-3 weeks. It's getting released in moments, depending how fast we get editing out. We would love to miss our full-time work. It isn't there yet, but stick with us. Who knows? Other than that, I think that's everything, isn't it? Guildhall, Blaze in the Dark, and Betrayal as well. But you can find all this on Guild of Gaming's YouTube. Please do like, comment, subscribe. We love talking to you. It's great to see some more comments coming through. Thank you to everyone that already does so. It's great having you here.
Requests are good as well because it gives us ideas. Requests are always good.
Lewis comes and goes, God, I've got a great idea. Let's talk about games I don't want to play. Awesome. Right, guys, I think it's everything, isn't it?
Yes.
Cool. Right then, as always, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. But until then, from the dark, arcane, twisted streets of Doskvol, from the creepy streets of Doskvol, we'll see you in the dusk. Good night.
See ya.
Wait.
So you de-stress and...
Hello, welcome back. We're just discussing vampires and how they play out on Blades.
So when you de-stress, you heal as well. It's
So
crazy.
vampire-
I guess they can't heal in any other way.
And it specifically says that it's the only way you can heal.
Yeah.
It specifically says that.
Yeah.
When a vampire heals in Doskvol, if he asks him about the mechanical terms, when a vampire heals in Blades, he automatically gets... Sorry, when he de-stresses, he gets 4 ticks because you consume life essence. Yeah. They can also get 5 dice.
5 dice for what? Like just...
What they want to do.
Alright, okay. Cool.
Yeah, they're just really strong, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
XP.
Oh, they also have 2 playbooks. because they get anything from being a ghost as well. So they have the ghost playbook, and then when they become a vampire, they keep everything from being a ghost and get the vampire on top.
Oh wow, okay.
So yeah, they're really powerful, man. Like super powerful.
They also have 12 stress boxes instead of 9.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So like, there's the ghost abilities.
No downsides.
And then when they become vampire, they get all these as well.
So we're not allowed to play vampire because that would completely mess up my UI.
You can't put 12 stress in. You'd have to have... Yeah, you have to have like a multiplier or something like that.
Reprogram it.
Here's great. So when you play a ghost, you earn XP when you exact vengeance upon those you deem deserving, when you express outrage or anger, and when you settle scores from your heritage or background. Basically, you are one pissed off mother trucker.
Yeah.
Playing the ghost means payback from anyone who wronged you in life. It's up to you to decide who has earned your ghostly ire, but don't let anyone off the hook.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, whose turn does it go first this week?
I think it was me.
I think it's you.
Mate, honestly, the whole playbook, Vampire and Ghost, I mean, it does say, like, this is advanced gameplay.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's some cool stuff in this.
Yeah.
It's just, if you just buy it. If you haven't, just buy it. This is such a cool book. There is so much in there. Like, for A5 pages, 320 odd.
Yeah.
The content in there is so dense. So awesome.
Just while we're plugging Blaze in the Dark and John Harper as well.
Yeah.
Scum and Villainy is also out at the moment.
Yes.
By Strass. It's recently come out by Strass, which is pretty much the same system but with a different setting.
Yeah, so yeah, if you're into your sci-fi, you know, you like, you know, you enjoy Blades, obviously watch this, hope you do. But maybe, you know, I love sci-fi, like, you know, I'm a big fan of it as well. Yeah, so Strass, I can't pronounce his last name. If you ever see this, I'm sorry. Strass Amiovic, I want to say. It's in here.
Isn't it?
Akmiovic. I'm so sorry. Asimovic, thank you for getting my awful pronunciation as well. Strass plays it, John. They do a great channel. If you've not seen it, you know, it inspired us to play. They have a little Blaze in the Dark. Strass helped John write it, and he used things called Forged in the Dark, isn't it? Where you take the Blade system and reskin it.
Yeah, I mean, Blaze in the Dark is designed at its core to be moddable.
Yeah.
And anything that is created from Blaze in the Dark is known as Forged in the Dark. So Scum and Villainy is a Forged in the Dark system that is just basically this, but in a sci-fi setting,
which is awesome.
Yeah. So
you get to play again. I think the term comes from Star Wars, like the Scum and Villainy. I think Obi-Wan, doesn't he?
Pit of Scum and Villainy.
That's it, the Cantina Bar. Yeah, the Pit of Scum and Villainy. So you play as those kind of, you know, the smugglers, the outcasts, the scum and the villainy of a sci-fi world. So, and the galaxy even. So
end plug.
Yeah.
XP.
Every time I roll a desperate action, I think I did 2.
Yeah, a couple there. Yeah.
Yeah, both in resolve. So.
Yeah, mine both in resolve as well, because it was social score, I guess.
Yeah, address the challenge with technical skill or mayhem, none of that today. Express my beliefs, drives, heritage or background. I don't know, I think Thadeus' general character came out.
Yeah, I think so.
So probably just like 1 XP in there.
Even carrying like the vampire trinkets, because you're so paranoid.
I mean, that's my paranoia, so that's like issues from my vice or traumas, so probably like 1 for that as well. I think it's just 2 really for me today. I'd say.
Yeah, seems fair. No.
Yeah, this was like remarkably low mayhem.
It was low key as well.
Yeah.
The whole thing was low key. Like, even like low stress, like everything. Just
yeah.
You get some good rolls.
It's always going to happen during a social one, unless it goes wrong.
I was saying, it didn't go particularly wrong. Like, there was like some tense moments, but you mostly succeed. I don't think you outright failed anything too much.
I still get 2 pips though. Because of those desperate rolls.
Nice.
I've maxed out in prowess and resolve with my 2
How did
XP.
Merrick do?
Yeah, how did you do?
So Merrick gets XP for. I got 2 desperate actions.
Cool.
I get for addressing a challenge with deception or influence.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bit of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2, maybe of 2, but
I think there's a lot with Juliet.
yeah.
Pushing her, you know, push up the Doskvol, that kind of thing. The whole thing with Harper. On to him. I'm happy either way, whatever you think. I say it's your character, however you lean on that one. You know Merrick better than I, so if you think you come out, I say go for it. It's good.
Yeah.
The whole thing I love about the system is that, you know, it's very character driven, so it's go for it.
Yeah, it is.
Makes sense, you know.
I'll go with I'd go with a 2 for that. It was a lot.
I don't feel like you should change it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm just making sure I can justify it.
Yeah, don't be overtly modest. No, it's cool, yeah, absolutely.
Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Not to mention you Ruby in front. You did the whole thing with your background in gambling. It was more of a Vice.
That was Vice.
Yeah, it comes in the Vice, doesn't it?
Totally claiming experience for that. But...
Breaking a dog's
Take control.
Yeah. Belief drives.
Don't know if
I don't think there's much coming on the belief drive so much. What did come out, I think, falls under other umbrellas as opposed to beliefs and drives. Though the whole drive of finding out about the arcane.
Yeah, no, I was thinking around the drive of like.
You took one for your paranoia, right?
Yeah, I took 2.
There was an element of just making business contacts in it, maybe, or that's a bit of a stretch. I won't take anything for that. And struggle with this.
I think one for it. Oh, one for the Vice. Oh yeah, one for the Vice, 100%.
One for the Vice. Yeah, definitely.
I do think one for the drives though, because I think the arcane stuff come out about that.
Yeah, I'll take one for that. So I get 4, which is enough to level me up.
What's your ones? Mayhem or technical skill?
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah, I was thinking mayhem. Yeah. Thinking there was some background stuff though with your sister, with Juliet.
Yeah, I added that. That's what I think.
One for your Vice, one for your family.
Yeah, that's about it.
Right,
I think.
So I have leveled up in Resolve.
You're so Merrick is full of resolve.
Absolutely, he absolutely is. So I'm going to take another point in a tune.
Ooh, let's get more into it.
I took my point in the tune as well, seeing where the next session is going.
Well, with all the access to this, to the knowledge in the library and everything. Like, I feel like that's.
He's invited.
That's from.
I mean, I took it because like I resisted the vampire's mark.
Yeah.
And finally, I also get a point in my playbook.
Oh, cool! I've had that for a while.
Yeah. Because I've kind of been like leveling them all up evenly, and then I'm just gonna get like all 4 in once. But,
anything that jumps out at you?
I was considering Ghost Voice.
What's that? Where you can talk to ghosts like
the secret method to interact with a ghost or demon as if it was a normal human, regardless of how wild or feral it appears. Gain potency when communicating with supernatural.
I mean, if you wanted to go like down the arcane route, you could just take veteran and then have a look at the Whispers playbook. Like,
maybe I should. I'll take this. I'll take this away, and I will
have a little think.
I'll have a little think, and then come up with something for next time.
I
think Ghost Voice or something arcane is kind of one thing at the moment.
I took a pip in Attune and I took a pip in Prowl as well.
Nice.
Because we are rubbish at prowling. Now we're both. Oh, you're pretty good at prowling.
I'm pretty good.
I'm 2 at prowling now. So.
I've been
oh wow, you've gone from not being able to prowl at all.
Yeah, now we're prowling.
Right,
yeah.
Learning the positives of being stealthy.
Yeah. So I got a point in Attune. What did you get a point in?
Attune and Prowl.
Attune and Prowl, wow. Yeah. I get 1 point, you get 2.
Warded, you may expense well.
1 in Attune. Let's put that up. And 1 in Prowl. Let's put that up.
Whisper ritual. You can learn, study, and occult ritual. Maybe Merrick started making rituals. Occultist, you know the secret way is to consort with ancient powers, forgotten gods or demons. Once you've consorted with one, you get 1 dice to command cultists who worship it. Consorting with a given entity may require special preparations or travel. You get the bonus die to command because you demonstrate a secret knowledge or influence over the entity when you enact a cultist. If you find people who worship Harvale or Satara, etc., you can command them like, yeah, I'm one of you guys and I know the secrets.
At the same time, I could just take the really fun one
and talk to
which
them.
is Tempest.
The Tempest one.
Electrocuting people.
Yeah.
I would not give it. Oh my god. Thadeus would be so.
Like, yeah!
If you started doing that, I don't know what. Thadeus would lose his mind.
Yeah. It does not fit the character, but when we played,
it was so fun.
When we played the prequel, which was the Hush Bell, and I was Davos Cranston, I had Tempest, and it is so fun to just like you can mess with weather effects. It's cool.
Right, crew XP. So at the end of each session, we get a XP for when we first acquire product supply, execute clandestine covert sales, and secure new territory. We did not do that, so we don't get any XP for that. Contend with challenges above our current station. I believe Scurlock was
He's a tier 3 strong.
Tier 3.
He's also a vampire. That's just what his influence in the underworld is. He's individually, he is a vampire.
Yeah, he's got a lot of individual power.
You got 2 for that.
Okay. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
I think professional kicks in here.
Yeah. Yeah, do you think?
For what you did with Scurlock. Did you get it last session or this session?
We got it last session.
Then that wouldn't be the case. But ambitious might kick in.
I mean, we were using existing contacts to get contacts for.
I think ambitious personally.
Yeah.
I think the fact what even Harvale, like your ambition shows through.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. I don't think that came through.
I think it did.
Really?
Personally, yeah. I think the whole thing with Juliet Green, what you push for, meeting Harvale with the deals and still going for it, and not. I think a little bit come through, which was that it was his ambition at cost of basically sanity.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I think there was stuff around the paranoia between. Well, I guess maybe that's more your sheet, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I think one come through personally.
Okay.
I think I think the fact who you're dealing with and why you're dealing with them is the nature of the crew.
Yeah,
we're
dealing with demons.
It's the silken noose. It's his ambition.
Okay,
and even down to like the inner nature when you had the conflict with Lyssa, it was like, right, if you're paying him off, we'll get rid of him. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, I guess there was a bit of that there.
Yeah, it was like our crew got threatened, we're dealing with it. How?
Yeah, I think
happy about
that was one of the things with Thadeus as well. Actually, I forgot about that in terms of his personal feelings. Like he wouldn't let it drop. He said, "Well, if I can find out who's dealing with death, can I kill him?" I hold a grudge.
Mayhem. I think Mayhem stroke technical skills both. The grudge or his drive and personal beliefs. Yeah, I think there's that one there.
I'll just add one in there. I forgot about that.
Right, guys, we got everything just now.
Alright, yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us again. I think that's everything today. So we will see you next week. So once again, from the murky, mystery, creepy streets of Doskvol. See you in the dusk. Good night, guys.
See ya.
Blah.